Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Marina here, and I'm happy to welcome you to another video. If it's your first time here, you're welcome. My name is Marina. I make videos from Saskatoon in Canada where I share about my experiences and just share tips to make settling into Canada easy for newcomers. Okay, so if this is content that you're interested in, please do well to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification so you know every time I upload new content. To my returning subscribers, always such a pleasure to have you here. Welcome back. As you can tell from the title, yes, we did have a COVID scare. I'm going to be telling you guys the story of what happened with my family in the last week. Just the last week, you guys. Like this week, I feel like this past week I feel like I've had 3 weeks in one, and you guys are about to find out why. So go and grab a drink, come and sit down, let me give you a gist, okay? So the day after Daphne's birthday, there was no school, so both of them were home with me. For the newcomers, Daphne is my daughter, and she turned 7 the upper week. The day after her birthday, both of them were home. In the evening during Daphne's birthday, she came to tell me that she felt a bit of discomfort with her tummy. I thought, well, you have eaten too much cake, that's probably why, which she did, by the way. You know, so I thought that's what was happening. The discomfort was just because she ate too much. But yeah, I just told her, you know what, drink some water, go to bed, you'll be fine. But in the morning when she woke up, I noticed that she had a bit of a fever. I just thought, okay, you have been under the sheets, maybe that's why your body is still trying to regulate itself. But then I noticed the sniffing. She started sniffing. It was like her nose was running, and then after like a couple of hours, there are a few coughs here and there. I'm like, I don't like the way this is looking, what's going on, you know? But by the end of day on Friday, the sniffing had become worse, the coughing had become more persistent, so I gave medication just to help with that. And then the fever wasn't going down. I gave medication as well just to see if we could bring down the fever and something to help with the coughing. Saturday, same thing, the cough was not going, it was not reducing, in fact it was becoming more persistent. The fever was still there. By Sunday morning when we woke up, her eyes were pale, the coughing had become more serious, the sniffing had become more serious. Like it was like she had trouble breathing, you guys. I was using side eye to look at her like, I don't like these symptoms, I don't like what it's looking like, I don't like what this is looking like. But by Sunday morning, I knew that I could no longer ignore it and wish it away. So I had to make the painful call. I had to make the phone call to the health authority here to say, hey, I'm noticing these symptoms with my daughter, what should I do? Or more. They gave me long list. In fact, they had a lot of questions to ask, just about exposure, has she traveled, have you come close to a confirmed case, just regular questions they ask. And then came the long list of precautions of things to do. Well, you're going to have to get tested, but in the meantime she has to be isolated, she has to use a different set of cutlery, she has to use her own bathroom, but if not, after every use you're supposed to clean it before somebody else uses it. She should be isolated, stay in her room the entire time, away from everybody else. She has to come and she has to wear a mask. You guys, that Sunday was Mother's Day. My children had addressed cards to me. The plan was that they were going to make me breakfast, like spoil me the whole day. But just now waking up and coming to terms with the fact that it's Mother's Day and you're telling me that I can't hug my child, we can't do anything together today, she's going to stay isolated in her room. Like, how do you explain that to a 7-year-old? It was tough. It was very, very tough, you guys. So when Daphne woke up, and of course in her usual fashion, she came, knock on my door, can I come in? She came in and we had to tell her, like, Daphne, you know you have been sick, and we just called the doctors and the doctor said you have to stay isolated in your room or you have to wear a mask. Daphne was like, what? I have to stay in my room all day? She just started crying, you guys. It totally broke me. Like, Mother's Day, can't hug my kids, we can't do anything together, she's going to stay isolated. How is that supposed to work out, you know? I told her, and she was like, okay, she understands that because she doesn't want to get any other person sick, so she will stay in her room and hope that she gets better. So she went in her room and stayed there. And then Mr. Jeremy woke up, my son woke up, and we told him that, look, you can't go in her room. Now don't forget that the TV for both of them is actually in Daphne's room, so they spend a lot of time together in Daphne's room. And Jeremy was like, what? I can't play with Daphne today, I can't go and watch TV in her room. I said, if it's TV, you can go and watch TV downstairs. He just started crying, like, how am I not going to play with Daphne? So who am I going to play with? And two of them started crying. You guys, it was like drama. Oh. It was like drama. I'm laughing about it now, but in the moment it was a very, very tough conversation to have. Daphne stayed isolated for the most part of Sunday. The few times she came out, she had to wear a mask. In fact, at some point we all now wore masks around the house, just not to make her feel awkward, and we could do things together. The children played together in the backyard. We all had masks on, just to make sure it's not too much for her getting cooked inside her room. You guys, Sunday evening, guess who started sneezing and coughing? My son. Hey, he started showing the same symptoms. He started sniffing, he started coughing, he started running a fever as well. I'm like, whatever this thing is, it is definitely communicable, but this is starting to become even more troubling right now, to now have 2 children show the same symptoms. So the next morning, when I called the health authority the day before to get an appointment for Daphne to get tested, we were able to get an appointment for the next day, you know. So she already had an appointment to go in to get tested on Monday at 1:30. So on Monday morning, Jeremy had he had started to show like full-blown symptoms. So I called them back to say, hey, my son is now showing similar symptoms. Can I get the same appointment for both of them to just get tested at once, so I don't have to do it twice? So they told me they were going to confirm that and get back to me. I didn't hear from them until it was time for Daphne's appointment, but I took Jeremy there just in case. So after we finished Daphne's appointment, a doctor did some kind of assessment, just checked her, and he told me that he doesn't have any cause to worry. Like, there's no other, from the assessment he has done, he has no reason to worry, but we're still going to do the test just to be on the safe side, especially since they are showing familiar symptoms. So they did the test for Daphne, and then I told them that, hey, my son is showing symptoms as well, he's outside, would you have time to maybe just test him as well? And they're like, okay, I should go outside first, but then they will check through their schedule and see if they can fit him in somewhere for that day. So went outside, sat down for a while, we were waiting, didn't get any call back, and then I got another call that said, oh, that Jeremy was going to have his testing the next day. I thought it was the same people who called me to say more like, we can't fit him in today, let him come back tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it. And as we were driving away, I got another call again to say, okay, we are now ready for Jeremy, you can bring him in. Apparently it was like 2 different people in the same organization were handling the matter separately, and they both gave us different appointment times. And I'm like, wait, to confirm, are you saying I can bring him back right now? I'm like, of course, if I can do it now, why wait till tomorrow? So I took him back and he got tested. You guys, that's when the wait now started. So this was Monday evening. In fact, that Monday I had 2 midterm exams. I had one exam at 9 a.m. so I did my exam at 9 a.m, took my children for the appointment in the afternoon, and in the evening at 6:30 I had the other midterm exam. As the second midterm exam ended, you guys, guess who started sneezing and coughing? Moi. At this point I was very sure that it's okay, we are going to have a COVID Chronicles video on this channel where I'll be showing you guys what we are doing while isolating from COVID. At this point, of course, this was Monday. Both my kids couldn't go to school because you can't even take them to school if you have symptoms at all, regardless of what the symptoms are. As far as you're sneezing or coughing or whatever it is, you can't take the kids to school until they're symptom free for at least 48 hours. So the whole week my children didn't go to school, they were at home with us. So by Monday evening I had started to show symptoms, so I'm like, okay, it has happened. What is shall I don't happen? You know, I was so sure at that point that okay, this is happening. I had now started to read up, like, what can I do, what do people drink. I had an older sibling who's in the medical profession recommend some things that I could do while we were waiting for the results. So because at the point where they got tested I was not showing any symptoms, it was just both of them that got tested. Okay, so if they had come back positive, then my husband and I would have had to get tested as well, just to be sure. I know that testing positive for COVID is not a death sentence, but it's just how disruptive your life becomes, how disruptive it is when that happens. Like not going to school, you can't go to the grocery store, you can't go anywhere, you now have to arrange for people to bring you groceries. For me, I like to do my own grocery shopping myself. To now have to depend on somebody in the store to do the shopping, and then I'll do curbside, they'll come and drop it at my door. Like, I just thought, oh my god, it's so disruptive not to be able to get up and go, like, oh, I need this thing, let me get up and go and get it. I just thought, how am I going to do this? These kids are now going to be away from school for what, maybe like 2 to 3 weeks. Like, how? Like, just thinking about all of that was so overwhelming, guys. It was so overwhelming. That period just waiting to hear the test results, my God, every day I thought about it. But at the end of the day, I think I just came to the point where I made peace with the fact that there's nothing I can do about this. Like, I can't change the result at this point. What I can do is just to adjust to whatever instructions that we get going forward. Long and short of the story, on Thursday last week, I got the call. In fact, I missed the call, and the number they used to call, you can't call them back. I missed the call, and I'm like, I can't call these people back now, I have to wait. It was just a lot of anxiety, right? But eventually they called me back, asked a few questions just to verify that I'm the parent, I am who I say I am, right? We got the result that Jeremy and Daphne both tested negative to COVID, which was such a huge relief, guys. Like, I almost wanted to start crying when I got that result. I almost cried. Like, I almost wanted to just break down and cry, because the relief, it was like a huge burden had been lifted off my shoulder, just knowing that both of them were fine. And then it now means that, okay, something else is going on. What was happening with all of us that we were transmitting? And then I remember that we didn't actually take our flu shot last year, and that the reason why we didn't was, at that point it seemed like we were getting into, it was like the heat of the second wave when people were taking the flu shot, and I thought, you know what, I don't want to go out, I don't even want any shot. We're fine, we're not going to go. Obviously I'm not going to do that again, you know. But that's what was happening. And right now the weather is kind of now finally getting into spring. So every time there's like a change in weather, every time there's like a transition from one season to the other, this happens, right? But it was just very scary to have it happen like this, and with what is going on. Like, you guys, at the end of the day, it turned out that we all just caught the regular flu, and the children are fine now. They're without symptoms. They cannot wait to go back to school, like away from school for one whole week, just doing school online and trying to catch up. It was a lot for all of us. It was a lot. Like, you guys, my takeaway from all of this, guys, is it gave me a new level of grace and a new level of compassion for parents who are dealing with children who need constant care, or for spouses who are taking care of other spouses who are like 100% dependent on them. Just these 2 days of watching my children come down with these symptoms, going to get a test and wait for the result, I know how emotionally exhausting it was for me as a parent. So I'm thinking about, so how about those children, those people who have children who are constantly sick? You know, it was in this period, guys, just a couple of weeks leading up to this, I was going to go and book for like a routine check, when I realized that our family doctor moved out of the province last year in September. My family doctor moved out of the province for 7 months, and I did not even notice, guys. For me, that was just like God, thank you that I am not such a regular in the hospital that I would notice. It took me 7 months to notice that my family doctor had moved out of province, which means that's 7 months of me not in a position where I needed medical care. Do you understand, guys? It made me grateful for good health. I have new respect for good health. The things we take for granted, you guys. At the end of the day, guys, I'm just so grateful that the results came out negative. My children are fine now. The symptoms are gone. For me, I think I'm just at the last stage of having my nose clear out completely. I don't know if you guys can hear that sound underneath my voice, but other than that, I'm fine. I had to cancel all my appointments that I had this week. Any appointment that I had that required a camera and a mic to come on, I canceled, because I was very husky, like way more than what I sound like right now. It was worse, you know. So I'm just so grateful, guys, that this has ended the way it has, and it's a different story we're telling, you know. I just thought I should share that with you guys, to just let you guys know that, man, this is what the last week has been. The last video you saw was party, but immediately after the party now turned to one kind of chaos, so small, you know. To every parent out there who's taking care of a child, who is taking care of a spouse, who needs 100% care, who are completely dependent on you, honestly, I see you, and I'm sending you hugs. It cannot be easy. With what I dealt with this week, I have a new level of compassion for you, and I pray that for people in that position, you get the help that you need, and you get all the comfort that you need. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I just thought to share this story with you guys today and to let you know that we're fine and we're all doing okay. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For everybody who's dealing with COVID, please stay safe. Please stay safe. I'm sending you hugs, sending you love and light, and I hope that you get well soon. Okay, please stay safe, everybody. Until I come your way in my next video, it is Marina saying thank you and have an awesome day. Bye, guys.